The anime begins with a monster attacking a town and destroying everything around it, until a bald hero appears and kills the monster with one blow. This hero's name is Saitama. 3 years ago, he wasn't a hero yet. He was just an ordinary, unemployed man looking for work. On his way home, he meets a crab monster who tells him that he is looking for a boy with a huge chin. The boy drew his nipples on his shell. Saitama accidentally meets this boy and decides to save him from death, receiving several blows from the crab, but eventually defeats him. Saitama then decides to become a hero and trains hard for 3 years, so hard that he goes completely bald. Later, he kills a huge giant that prevented him from buying the meat on sale. Saitama is the most ordinary guy living in a simple apartment, who always defeats monsters with one blow, and heroism is just a hobby for him. One morning when he wakes up, he faces underground monsters so strong that Saitama finally feels the excitement of battle and the will to live. But it turns out to be just a dream. Upon waking up, he notices the real underground monsters who, upon seeing Saitama, immediately run away. The next morning, Saitama is watering a cactus, at which time a mosquito appears that he can't kill. The city is evacuated due to the large number of mosquitoes that are killing everything around them. The mosquito monster, which is attacked by the cyborg Genos, is to blame. Saitama is angry at the mosquito he can't catch. Genos fights the mosquito monster. The monster chops off his arm, and Genos chops off both of its legs in return. The monster absorbs more and more blood to get stronger, and that's when Saitama comes in. Genos blasts all the mosquitoes and is surprised that Saitama is still alive. The mosquito monster becomes so strong that it almost kills Genos with a few blows, but Saitama destroys it with one blow and saves Genos. Genos asks to become Saitama's apprentice, and Saitama agrees. Genos comes to Saitama, asks many questions and tells him about his past, how he became a cyborg, lost his family when he was 15, and wants revenge on the robot that did it. During their conversation, they are attacked by monsters, but Saitama easily handles them all. Genos leaves the gorilla robot alive to ask some questions. He tells them about the lab where they came from. Once upon a time, there lived a mad scientist named Dr. Genos, who dreamed of evolving mankind, but no one supported his ideas. He devoted his life to experiments, and at the age of 70, he finally succeeded. He regained his youth, created clones, and founded a laboratory called House of Evolution. There, he conducted experiments on humans and animals. Saitama listened to the story and asked for a shorter explanation. Upon arriving at the lab, Genos immediately blows it to the ground, saying it's easier that way. Finding an underground entrance, they go downstairs and encounter a powerful monster who incapacitates Genos with a single blow and challenges Saitama to a fight in the training room. Saitama agrees the monster was very happy to fight. Before the battle begins, a wounded Genos comes in and attacks as hard as he can, but to no avail. The monster attacks Saitama but stops at the last moment, sensing fear because he realized that hitting Saitama could cost him his life. He asks how Saitama gained such strength, and Saitama replies that he has been practicing hard every day for 3 years. Genos doesn't believe it because you can't achieve that kind of power with regular training. Then the monster goes into frantic mode, claiming that he is now unstoppable for a whole week and begins to attack furiously. However, Saitama remembers that he missed the day of the super meat sale and destroys the monster in one blow. In the next episode, Saitama wakes up from a nightmare. The TV shows a criminal gang whose members refuse to work and are all bald. Saitama worries that he might be mistaken for one of them because he looks like one of them. He decides to put an end to the gang. Meanwhile, the gang heads to the building of the richest man in the city. However, he is not afraid of the attack because he is protected by a personal ninja bodyguard named Sonic. Sonic easily kills the entire gang, including the leader, by stabbing him in the head. But he just pretends to be dead and escapes. On his way, he encounters Saitama and gets a kick out of him, running away naked. Sonic soon encounters Saitama, mistakes him for a criminal, and attacks him. Saitama easily blocks his blows, saying he's just a regular hero. But Sonic doesn't care. He's amazed that his punches, honed over the years, don't work, and decides to test his strength against Saitama. Sonic brags about his speed, but Saitama accidentally kicks him in the groin, and Sonic, writhing in pain, says he'll win next time. Back home, Saitama tells Genos everything and wonders why he's even in his apartment. Saitama complains that despite 3 years of heroics and dozens of defeated monsters, no one knows him. Then Genos explains that you have to become an official hero and register. Otherwise, you're just a weirdo in a suit. Saitama agrees and suggests that Genos register with him, and then Genos will become his apprentice. The hero exams begin, where more than 11,000 participants have gathered. Among them is Saitama, who passes all the tests with ease. In the locker room, he meets Genos, who says that the exams were easy, and Saitama agrees. When the results are announced, Genos receives a rank of S, while Saitama only receives a rank of C. On the way home, Genos explains that the Hero Association was founded 3 years ago, and they are now officially registered heroes. He also says that he became Saitama's apprentice. At this time, Saitama is attacked by an A-class hero, deciding to teach him a lesson, but after one punch from Saitama, is immediately knocked out. Later, Saitama and Genos head out of town to do some training. During the sparring session, Genos attacks non-stop, using his full power, while Saitama easily dodges all of his blows. The whole time he wasn't even fighting seriously, Genos asks the teacher to be serious. At one point, Saitama demonstrates his serious punching, but at the last second he stops and says he's just hungry and offers to eat together. Genos is amazed by his teacher's incredible strength, realizing that he still has a long way to go. After all, one simple punch from Saitama could have killed him. During dinner, the #1 Class A hero, Sweet Mask, arrives and says he wants to talk to Genos. However, it turns out that he just came to greet the new hero and that's it. It's been 5 days since Saitama officially became a hero, and nothing out of the ordinary has happened in that time. Genos tells him that if a C-ranked hero doesn't perform any feats within a week, his name will be crossed off the list. Saitama decides to act. He goes out into the streets looking for monsters, but the whole town is quiet and peaceful. He returns home with nothing, and the next day, the situation repeats itself. Suddenly, Sonic appears and wants to fight Saitama, but he says he's busy and leaves. Later, a hero named Tiger Mike appears, who scolds Saitama for running around town and disturbing other people. However, Sonic suddenly attacks him and starts wreaking havoc, destroying everything around him. Realizing that this is his chance, Saitama intervenes and knocks Sonic out with one punch. Meanwhile, the Heroes Association is discussing the latest reports. Most of the cities are calm except for Ghost Town Z, where a real disaster is rumored to be brewing. 2 A-class heroes are sent there to investigate what's going on. In the abandoned part of the city where strong monsters often appear, no one lives anymore. That's why it's called Ghost Town. The heroes explore the area and encounter a monster that looks like a giant cabbage. He easily defeats both of them. At this time, Genos also notices the monster's activity, but continues to go about his business. Eventually, Saitama comes face to face with the very same monster and instantly destroys it. Back home, he makes himself a delicious cabbage soup. However, the destruction left behind after the battle frightens the other heroes. Now they begin to suspect that someone much stronger than any monster has appeared in the city. Genos comes to the Heroes Association and meets an old man named Bang, who is 3rd in the S rank. The reason for the summoning of the 2 strong heroes is a meteorite approaching the city of Z. An evacuation begins, and Genos tries to stop the meteorite using his most powerful shot, but to no avail. Then Saitama appears and completely destroys the meteorite with one blow, but its fragments fall on the city, causing massive damage. Later, sitting at home, Saitama and Genos discuss the ranks of the heroes, and it is revealed that Saitama has risen from 326th rank C to 5th rank C, much to Saitama's surprise. Genos also explains the danger levels: Tiger threatening multiple casualties, Demonic threatening destruction of city infrastructure, Dragon threatening destruction of multiple cities, and Divine threatening all of humanity. Saitama then decides to take a walk and explore the city. Along the way, he meets 2 heroes, Tank Top Tiger and Tank Top Black Hole, who gather a crowd and blame Saitama for the destruction, claiming that he was the reason the city suffered. The people start to blame Saitama, but he tells them not to blame him, but the meteor, since it was the meteor that destroyed the city. Genos appears and takes his teacher home. A powerful monster appears from the depths of the ocean, which Saitama quickly defeats. After that, it is revealed that Saitama has risen in the rankings again, from 5th to 2nd place in Class C. A series of sea monster attacks are reported on TV, and the danger level is demonic. A town is left with only one hero, who struggles to take down several monsters, but in a moment of joy, he is instantly defeated by a much stronger creature. The monster then easily disposes of another hero. At this time, the S-Class hero Puri Puri Prisoner, who recently escaped from prison, and Sonic, who escaped with him, appear. However, the sea monster easily defeats the S-Class hero and then engages Sonic in battle. Realizing that he can't handle it, Sonic decides to retreat, promising to return with a weapon and then kill the monster. The monster then heads to the hideout where the townsfolk have gathered and easily defeats the weak, lower-ranked heroes. At the most tense moment, the S-Class hero Genos arrives to help. Genos gives the monster a powerful attack, and it seems that the battle is over. But suddenly, the sea monster appears at his back, chops off his arm, and delivers a devastating blow. A serious battle begins, in which Genos gradually loses strength and eventually loses. As the monster prepares to finish him off, the #1 hero of Class C, Moomin Rider, comes to the rescue. He bravely rushes into the battle, but immediately flies away from the enemy's blow. At the most decisive moment, Saitama appears. The Sea King attacks him, but Saitama remains unharmed and destroys the monster in one blow, saving all the humans. However, most eyewitnesses decide that Saitama simply took advantage of the moment when the monster was already weakened and call him a cheater. Sonic, on the other hand, fails to arrive at the scene of the battle in time. Back at home, Saitama and Genos receive letters from the Heroes Association. Saitama is promoted to first place in Class C and invited for an interview. He is then officially promoted to Class B, becoming the last hero of that rank. On his way home, Saitama stops for a bite to eat and meets a Class C hero, with whom they celebrate his promotion together. Far away in the mountains, a huge lizard monster appears, determined to take over the Earth, but it is quickly dealt with by the hero Tornado of Terror. Meanwhile, Saitama and Genos come to the martial arts school of the old man Bang, who invited them. There they meet his student, but are disappointed in his strength. Bang tells them that he once had a top student named Guro, who beat up all the others and thus caused the students to scatter. During the conversation, a representative from the Heroes Association comes in and informs him of an emergency meeting of all S-Class heroes due to the threat of the dragon level. Genos decides to go and invite Saitama along, who agrees. Almost all S-Class heroes arrive. 17th place Puri Puri Prisoner, 16th place Genos, 15th place Metal Bat, 14th place Tank Top Master, 13th place Flashy Flash, 12th place Watchdog Man, 11th place Super Alloy Darkshine, 10th place Pig God, 9th place Drive Knight, 8th place Zombie Man, 7th place King, 6th place Absent, 5th place Child Emperor, 4th place Atomic Samurai, 3rd place Silverfang, 2nd place Tornado of Terror, 1st place Absent. The reason for the meeting is a warning from the soothsayer Madame Shibabawa, who died but left a prophecy before her death. Mankind is facing the greatest danger in history, and it will come soon. And indeed, soon, a huge extraterrestrial ship the size of an entire city appears from the sky and completely destroys the city. All the heroes do not understand what is happening and decide to go out to see what happened outside. There they encounter a monster being fought by an atomic samurai apprentice, but it turns out that the monster is not so easy to kill. As many as 4 S-Class heroes have come to defeat it at once. In the meantime, Saitama climbs into an extraterrestrial ship, destroying all enemies in his path and breaking everything around him. S rank heroes have no way to kill this monster. No matter how many times they hit it, it keeps regenerating. Then the Metal Bat hero notices that there is a pearl inside the monster that needs to be broken. At this time, a voice starts playing in Saitama's head, telling him that if he takes one more step, he will die. Saitama says he's lost and can't find his way out. Then the voice points the way and asks Saitama to go to the right. Saitama smirks and goes left and comes to the control room, where he meets a monster named Geryuganshub, who attacks with all his abilities. Saitama asks him not to scatter garbage and throws a rock at the monster, causing it to die. At this time, the heroes outside almost tackle the monster, and the ship starts bombarding, but the hero Tornado of Terror stops it and redirects it back into the ship. Saitama finally finds the most important one. His name is Boros. He once roamed the universe, destroying everything in his path. He was so powerful that there was no one left to oppose him. Then a soothsayer said that on a distant planet there was someone who could fight him. Saitama hits Boros, he flies off and goes into battle mode, and Saitama doesn't care though. Boros punches at Saitama, who blocks the punch. Boros goes on the offensive, and then Saitama chops his arm off. Saitama says he's pretty strong. At this time, Tornado of Terror is throwing city debris at the ship to do damage. Genos is surprised by this power until an S-Class hero comes to them and says that Metal Knight is the enemy. Genos doesn't realize what's going on. Then the heroes finally kill the monster Melzergard. Saitama and Boros continue their fight, breaking everything around them. Boros hits Saitama with powerful blows, but he still feels nothing. Boros fires his strongest shot, saying that it will make every living thing die, but Saitama again remains unharmed and tells him to shut up. Enraged, Boros attacks Saitama, destroying the ship. Saitama flies off into space, hits the moon, is repelled by it, and returns to the ship. Boros is surprised, and Saitama hits him with a series of regular punches. Boros uses all his strength to attack Saitama, but Saitama responds with a serious punch, and the ship, along with the clouds, splits in half. Boros loses and admits that Saitama was too strong. The ship begins to fall, and all the heroes leave to avoid being left under the wreckage. The first A-Class hero, Sweet Mask, appears and asks what happened to the city, then says that the entire S-Class is useless and there's nothing left of the city. It's a failure. After killing the remaining monsters, he leaves. Saitama exits the ship. He is immediately met by Genos, and Saitama tells him that he met a strong monster and destroyed it. That day, City A disappeared from the map, and in its place they built a huge Heroes Association headquarters to make it easier to reach the other cities. This is how the first season of One Punch Man ended.